I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here on the TikTok platform from Nashville SuperSpeedway. We are in Country Music City here in Lebanon, Tennessee. Get ready to tackle on this 1.33-mile concrete ovals. Packed out the stands here tonight for 72,000 asses crowding in here to watch the Booty Scoot Racing channel's coverage of the Madness Racing League Cup Series Next Gen Race number 3 for Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll do things a little different here tonight. We ask you guys to go ahead and rise and stand as you're able to. Take those caps off as we salute the troops here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for standing for the national anthem here tonight as we support the troops here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We would gladly appreciate if you guys go ahead and slap that like button, press that follow button as we go down here on the main broadcast cam, bringing you the Madness Racing League Cup Series Season 2, race number 3 here for the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Getting ready to take on the Honky Tonk 150 here in Tennessee. And there's a ton of hillbillies packing out the stands here for the Nashville SuperSpeedway's Madness Racing League. It's a great day to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. We're moments away from the qualifying session. Checker flag is in the air here for the practice session for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series, race number 3 on the year. Getting ready to go qualifying here tonight. We'll keep the music playing just a little bit here in the background because I know I'm kind of one boring fellow here. Freddie the Flagman's going to tear that rotator cuff if he swings it any harder here. We'll go underneath the lights here for the qualifying session. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Johnson, the winner 2 weeks ago at the Bristol Motor Speedway, locked himself in to the playoffs on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Next Gen Cup Series. Looks like contestant number 1 here for qualifying. Driving the Ford Mustang number 7, UFC Modelo Mustang from Pelzer, South Carolina. I kind of fucked that up a little bit. Looks like going to be Travo Walls. He'll rip through the gears here off of pit road. Travo Wall going to make something shake here tonight. Pick up his first pole since Talladega last year in the Cup Series. Travo Wall will rip through the gears here up into turns 3 and 4. Travo Wall from Pelzer, South Carolina. One of the tons of South Carolina guys we've got as he continues to rip through the gears here. He'll come across turn 4, across the front stretch here, and put him on the board. Travo Wall has got the green flag here. They kick off the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway in Tennessee. Travo Wall will come up off the bottom side of the racetrack there. Head down the back straightaway here. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, this is the iRacing platform, newly redone by the iRacing admin team. They'll put the white walls up here, redo some branding on the walls. Travo Wall soaring up out of the corner here out of turns 4. Where will he post for lap number 1? Looks like Kyle Fountain will drop down the second place spot. Travo Wall will take the second place spot, put the boogeyman on the top of the board here. Travo Wall will have one more opportunity here as he rips off a turn 2 there down the back straightaway. The UFC looking to throw a haymaker into turns 3 and 4. The number 7 has been bad fast this year up to this point. He had a hell of a run at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He was able to hold on to the bottom side of the racetrack there. Up off the corner comes Travo Wall. Where will he post as he heads around the line? Travo Wall, P1 up on the board. John Michael Bryant heads across the board as well. He'll finish out his. Holden Wheeler will settle the top of the board there after completion of his first lap. Holden Wheeler will try the bottom side of the racetrack here. Holden Wheeler driving the number 15 Ford Target Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina. Trying everything in his power here to stay on top of the pylon up there, the scoring ticker tower, whatever the hell you want to cower. He'll held down in the 3 and 4. Tons of speed as he's rolling through turns 3 and 4. Up off the corner. You really want to be as high as possible. Try to turn down the front stretch here in Nashville. And Holden Wheeler will cut a lap faster than what he did previously. Here comes the number 777 Toyota Camry of Bobby Kyle, the Mountain Dew 777. Was bad fast at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Didn't have it the way that he wanted it to go. Finished a couple laps down off the lead lap. Here comes Bobby Kyle to complete his lap here in the qualifying session. The ticker all over the place, trying to figure out who's what, when, where, and why. Bobby Kyle currently 7th fastest that last time around here. He'll sail up off the bottom side of the racetrack. Big loose side of the corner goes Bobby Kyle, and he'll kill the run here. Here comes the 0-2, of Nicholas Maynard. Picked up the win in the Xfinity Series at Atlanta Motor Speedway Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard will head down the back straightaway here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Looking to make something shake here. Currently not posted a lap yet as he'll head down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight. The Maynard Motors Ford Mustang sticking with the middle side of the racetrack here. Something a little different there for the number 02. Real close to the outside wall there as he sails across the front stretch line. Where will the Maynard Motor kids post here? Looks like going to be P9 on the board for Nicholas Maynard that last time around. Trying to get that thing up underneath them here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tons of wheel input into the number 02 Ford Mustang riding out the front helmet cam with Nicholas Maynard as he heads down into turns 3 and 4. Concrete surface here, not what these guys are looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard will come off of turns 3 and 4 here for the final time tonight in the qualifying session. Where will he post? P3 for Nicholas Maynard there that last time around. Here's the number 13. Napdaddy Racing Designs, Premier Setups, Chevy Camaro from Goldsboro, North Carolina. This is Jonathan Smith. He heads down the front stretch here to complete his lap. Jonathan Smith, 8th fastest that last time around here. And so take it for one more spin around the Nashville Super Speedway. Trying to get back into the gas there. You hit him, had a feather, come up out of there real quick. Great exit for the number 13, Napdaddy Racing, number 13. Camaros, he'll sail down to the bottom side here, looking to try to get down to that yellow line here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jonathan Smith heading up out of the corner here. Where will he post? Currently sitting in the 8th place spot. 2nd place for Jonathan Smith there on that previous lap here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I believe that's everybody that's going to cut a lap up here to this point. They got just a little bit more time to get it done if that's what they're going to do here. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the next Gen Cup Series, race number 3 for season number 2. It looks like Freddie the Flagman's waving the checker flag for the qualifying session. That means these guys are getting ready to switch over here to the driver introduction part of tonight's show. We'll pull up the qualifying results here. Looks like going to be starting on the pole here, driving the number 15 Ford Mustang. That's going to be Holden Wheeler. As these guys continue to fill in the field here, ladies and gentlemen, look at these beautiful race cars here. Looks like 14 guys are going to pack out the field here tonight to tackle on the Nashville Super Speedway. And we would gladly appreciate it if you hit that like button, smack that like button as we get ready to go racing here for the Honky Tonk 150. Let's get it smacking and cracking here. Go grab your guitar. Go grab another can of dip. It's getting ready to get serious out here. We're in Country Music City. Holden Wheeler from Mooresville, North Carolina, driving the number 15 Ford Mustang. Will start in the 1st place spot. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 13 Napdaddy Racing Chevy Camaro from Goldsboro, North Carolina. That's going to be Jonathan Smith. So the 2 North Carolina kids will round out the front pole here, starting in the 4th place spot on the outside. 2nd row from Welford, South Carolina. The 23-year-old, that's going to be Nicholas Maynard. Starting in the 3rd place spot of the night, driving the number 5 Flow Racing, Chase Johnson Racing, Chevy Camaro. That's Corey Tesner. Starting in the 6th place spot here tonight, driving the number 24 Valvoline, Chevy Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina. That's James Fountain. Driver owner of the number 51 STI Johnson Chevy Camaro from Greer, South Carolina. That's the Season 1 Cup Series champion, Chase Johnson. Starting underneath him tonight, driving the number 7 UFC Modelo Ford Mustang from Pelzer, South Carolina. Looking to shake, rattle, and roll. That's Travo Wall. Driving the number 23 J Money Sense Toyota TRD Camry, excuse me, the boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. Going to be rounding out the 9th place spot here tonight, driving the number 59 Jim Fountain Racing, Tyler's Pub at the Pier, Chevy Camaro from Clemson, South Carolina. That's cousin Big Country, Kyle Fountain. Terry Hughes Jr. from Troy, Alabama, driving the Red Bull number 81 XI Ford Mustang here tonight in Nashville. Underneath the lights, looking to strum his way to the front. Starting underneath him, driving the 777 Mountain Dew Toyota Camry from Honorsville, Georgia. That's the 65-year-old of Bobby Kyle. Chris Knighty from B-Town, Indiana, driving the NVIDIA Triple Deuce Ford Mustang. Will round out the 12th place spot here tonight. Tony Cook, the old-time veteran, driving the Coors Light Silver Bullet number 33. He'll shake out the 13th place spot here tonight. Coming back 2 weeks ago, had a dry shaft, followed him in the garage at the Bristol Motor Speedway, driving the number 12 Paint House Toyota Camry. It's going to be Blake Hochschild. So ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here at the Honky Tonk 150. The driver introductions are in the book. Holden Wheeler is set to press the gas down next time around. Looks like Peter the pace car is going to take one more lap around the great Nashville SuperSpeedway. And we appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight. And if you're just now tuning in, we're getting ready to take on the Madness Racing League Cup Series Season 2. Race number 3 here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway for 100 laps. We have 5 laps scheduled in the tank for the overtimes if we need them. 2 of them green, white, checkered style. Ladies and gentlemen, all black flags. iRacing rules apply here in the Madness Racing League. 14 of these next-gen cards getting ready to go racing here. We see you guys liking up the stream here tonight. 28 of you piled in here to watch the Honky Tonk 150. Peter the pace car gives you the big fat deuces through turns 1 and 2. He's getting ready to put it down here on the pit road. We're getting ready to go racing. Smash that like button. Slap that follow button. Head on over to the YouTube page at the top right of your screen, located at the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have all of the conclusion of the full race that's there. Next gen, Xfinity truck, late models, and the Whelen modifieds. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're here tomorrow night. The 2008 Atlanta Motor Speedway for the TNA Truck Series for the Madness Racing League. You can catch it right here. Nicholas Maynard on the outside, James Fountain, Travo Wall. Holden Wheeler is going to be the race leader here on the pole here tonight in Nashville. Getting ready to strum it here to the green flag for the Honky Tonk 150, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you came for. Green, 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 green here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Holden Wheeler will step on it here, diving down into turns 1 and 2. Here they come, ripping through the gear. Down on the bottom side will go down Holden Wheeler. Looks like Nicholas Maynard searching on the top side of the racetrack here early. Lap number 1. Scheduled for 100 laps here around the 1.33 mile racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. Travo Wall going to make the slide job move over the number 51 of Chase Johnson. Real tight off the corner. Chase Johnson to get a little bit of the outside wall there. They'll sail across the line there. The first lap is in the book here for the Next Gen Cup Series Honky Tonk 150. Looks like the caution flag maybe be flowing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody's starting to slow up here. Ladies and gentlemen, have to back that ass up here. And it looks like Holden Wheeler, the race leader here at the back of the pack. Ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, we will back that ass up for an instant replay here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Mooresville, North Carolina Ford Mustang pole sitter here. The 90s down on the bottom side of the racetrack, giving the infield grass a high taper fade as he just ran right slap through the Crackle Barrel infield logo. Ladies and gentlemen, Holden Wheeler was down on the bottom side for a shit ton of time. And the view spins out from the race lead. Looks like it's going to look here. We'll take a look. Riding out the front bumper nose of the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. Just tries to save it here down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. But that'll trigger the caution flag from the admin as the pole sitter falls off of turn 3 and 4 here down on the bottom side of the Coca-Cola target. Number 15, though, able to keep it straight, keep it going here, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Holden Wheeler brings out the first caution flag. We'll be back in just a moment. Bang, bang, welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll kill the music here, working the caution flag here as the safety crew continues to clean up off of turns 3 and 4 and in here to turns 1 and 2. Holden Wheeler driving the number 15 Coca-Cola Target Ford Mustang goes around. You see him right there coming through the field in that red number 15. Ladies and gentlemen, underneath the caution flag for the first time here tonight. We're glad you have tuned in here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have a packed out house here on the TikTok platform. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the remaining schedule for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. Headed to Charlotte 2 weeks from now for 100 laps underneath the lights for the MRL Coca-Cola 600. However the hell you really want to have it. These guys looking to have some stars and stripes supporting the troops there at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, the iRacing platform, the Madness Racing League reminding you to go grab your racing electronics scanner near you today. You can tune in and hear what some of these drivers are saying as they talk shit all race long. Looking for an iRacing paint scheme? Head on over to the NapDaddyRacingDesigns.com where they can get you squared away, get you a code, get you 5% off to host hashtag MRL. Tell them the Madness Racing League sent you. Back down here on the main broadcast here, everybody pile behind Peter the pace car. Here's the track workers jump back into their race cars here. The admin telling them to get their big asses off the racetrack here. Peter the pace car should cut the lights off this time around on top of that big jacked up truck of his. And we should be ready to go racing. Yes, he will. They'll double file it across the line here. It's going to be Corey Riptide Tessner on the front side as the race leader now with Jonathan Smith on the outside of him. That'll round out the front row. Holden Wheeler will get the third place spot there after spinning out there. So way to stay on the gas and hold his foot in it. James Fountain will move up there to the fourth place spot on the outside, second row. John Michael Bryant and Nicholas Maynard will round out the third row. A couple pair of limited neon yellow cars underneath the lights here, and rounding out right behind them will be Chase Johnson and Travo Wall. So the Carolina kids backing out the front of the house here tonight. Here comes Big Country Kyle Fountain, driving that number 59 Chevy Camaro. 4 laps are completed here. We're already underneath the caution flag. Some hard racing there. The pole sitter Holden Wheeler gets loose off of turns 4, gives the grass a haircut through the infield. Getting ready to go racing here again behind Peter the pace car. The J Money Cinch Premium Incentive Candles 23 Toyota Camry is locked in, loaded, ladies and gentlemen. Will ride out the front bumper. John Michael Bryant through the restart zone here. Show you how things get dicey down here as Peter hangs that fat left on the pit road. These guys are going off the Echo Park restart. Green zone up above. Getting ready to be where they are now. It'll be Corey Tessner fully in charge here. He'll slap back down on the gas. And we're back green here for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series race number 3 for season 2, excuse me. As Tony Cook and the number 33 Silver Bullet are lagging back a little bit back there on the bottom side of the pack. Nicholas Maynard will try the outside as well. This time because of Big Country Kyle Fountain to jump up there. Corey Tessner, selling away with it down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. What a beautiful shot here in Country Music City at the Nashville SuperSpeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. Corey Tessner will come across the line. He'll lead that last time around. Back green here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Snapping up in here on the outside wall right there. Travo Wall will shove Nicholas Maynard as high as he possibly can there. That UFC number 7 Ford Mustang. Nicholas Maynard like he jumped out the gas there. Everybody able to hold on to their race cars. Single file up here near the front. Double file as further as you get on back here. That's Travo Wall, Bobby Kyle, Nicholas Maynard battling it out for position right there. And Chris Knighty will jump down the bottom side of the racetrack here. Bobby Kyle from Huntersville, Georgia, driving that Mountain Dew green number 777, trying to run down the number 7 of Travo Wall here. Not able to get him here. Mustang trying to run down, a Camry trying to run down a Ford. It'll never do it here. Travo Wall going to throw a haymaker down into turns 3 and 4 here. He's got the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. We're heading out of the front stretch here. Here comes the race leader, Corey Tessner, across the line, followed by James Fountain, Holden Wheeler, Jonathan Smith, John Michael Bryant, and giving it a showtime. Chase Johnson there rounding out the top 5 spot here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Madness Racing League's Next Gen Cup Series. 2 weeks from now, we're headed to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Travo Wall was bad fast there last year when we took on the Gen 6 Cup cars as our Cup Series. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Hughes Jr. trying to work the bottom side of the kid of Nicholas Maynard here from Wilford, South Carolina. Terry Hughes Jr. talking about Charlotte Motor Speedway. If I had to put my money on somebody 2 weeks from now, I'd definitely put the paycheck on the number 81 Red Bull Ford Mustang from Troy, Alabama. 81X iRacing brings fast-ass race cars to these mile-and-a-half racetracks. We're at a mile track here tonight on the concrete surface, so not much that they can do there for the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. They guys battle door to door here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Scoot up here, Jonathan Smith's trying to run away with showtime Chase Johnson here. You ride out the front bumper of Jonathan Smith here as he tries to run down the other Jonathan, John Michael Bryant. The Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, as we ask you guys to please remind your mother to keep her shirt down all night long here. That is highly illegal here in the state of Tennessee. You will find yourself in the penitentiary. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Holden Wheeler looking to make the move for the second place spot over James Fountain. Here in the turns 3 and 4, these guys are selling away here. Corey Riptide Tessner, the race leader. The caution flag is out. Caution flag out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard looked like he's lost a couple positions as well. Bobby Kyle involved. We'll back that ass up here as we always do. We'll throw it up for the instant replay for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series. Caution flag flies here for the second time tonight. Looks like the kid of Nicholas Maynard involved. Bobby Kyle involved as well. Looks like Blake Hochschild might have got a piece of this. We'll back that ass up here. Make sure you grab a piece as we go down into turns 1 and 2. Mayhem looks like a mayhem struck here. It's Blake Hochschild's minding his own business. That starts up here with Nicholas Maynard and Bobby Kyle. Maybe a little bit of contact made right there. Bobby Kyle gets shipped up the racetrack. Nicholas Maynard hard on the outside wall. He'll get a collective piece of his as well. Bobby Kyle able to lock him down. We'll back that ass up here one more time. We'll ride out the back end of the 777 of Bobby Kyle, the old-timer from Honorsville, Georgia. Just minding his own business up here in the middle side of the racetrack here. Looks like he gets free up here. Nicholas Maynard taps into him, sends him around. And Nicholas Maynard gets a little bit of revenge as well as he'll hit the outside wall. Bobby Kyle able to lock it on down. We'll back it up one more time, see if we can't ride out the front nose of the Maynard Motors 02 machine. And it didn't look deliberate there, just a big stack up going into turns 1 and 2. Terry Hughes Jr. down on the bottom side here, riding out the front bumper cam of the kid. Nicholas Maynard definitely into the left rear of Bobby Kyle here, sending up here. Blake Hochschild returning the favor for Bobby Kyle. He'll send Nicholas Maynard up the racetrack. That'll send Bobby Kyle down on the infield. A little bit of damage to that Mountain Dew 777. We'll take that quick commercial break and we'll be back after this. Caution flag for the second time here tonight. Hey, in Music City, gotta turn up to a little bit of music. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to join the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series or the Madness Racing League in general, make sure you go ahead and take a screenshot of the MRL's code right on your screen. Get yourself down here. You can get out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and allow me to mispronounce your name from week to week. Ladies and gentlemen, we're underneath the caution flag for the second time tonight for Nicholas Maynard. He comes down pit road right now with Blake Hochschild, the two yellow luminant cars underneath the lights here. Looks like they got to have some damage fixed on those cars. Bobby Kyle will stay out on the racetrack of that number 777. Looking to make something shake, see if he can't get that thing. Continuing to pick off some laps here. Every point matters here in the Madness Racing League. Riding on board with the veteran of Bobby Kyle. Been sim racing since it's been a thing from Honorsville, Georgia. Bobby Kyle, a man of many crafts, arts, and skills. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Cook, owner of the Home Run Cafe in Greer, South Carolina, driving the Coors Light Silver Bullet Chevy Camaro here tonight. Driving the number 33, trying to get it go to the front here. Was underneath the caution flag, was listening in, battling some handling conditions inside of that Camaro. Said he needed a half a pound of air pressure, taking out the left rear tire, and a little bit of a wedge adjustment. He felt like he might be able to contend here on the long run. Said he's got a bad fast 33 race car though. We move up here to the triple deuce of Chris Knighty driving the NVIDIA Ford Mustang. Chris Knighty, the Indiana driver, been bad fast here recently on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Been knocking on the door of the victory lane. Can he get that thing here tonight? The Ford Mustang's got some power in it. He'll have to stay out of harm's way here or navigate his way through the field. Here comes the kid of Nicholas Maynard underneath the caution flag now. For the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, he'll get into the left rear of Bobby Kyle. He'll be placed on the aggressive driving list. Any more for the number 02 might result in him being parked for the remainder of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tesner driving the number 5 out front here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. When it rains, it pours. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try to throw you all the country accent, whatever the hell puns we can here tonight, trying to make it a little bit fun here. We gladly appreciate you guys flooding out the TikTok platform here tonight. 48 viewers live. When we took the green flag for the Honky Tonk 150, Kyle Fountain will sell out of that t-shirt hat combo with that special paint scheme. Tyler's Pub up here in Clemson, South Carolina. Make sure you go down there, get you a drink. His football season is right around the corner, but this is a racing channel, so fuck football. Get ready to go back racing here. Your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, has moved up here to the 4th place spot on the outside of Holden Wheeler here. As we know, John Michael Bryant known to rattle a few cages here. Peter the Base Car's got the lights off on top of that big jacked up truck of his. Something like Jason Aldean, my big jacked up truck. Trying to give you a little bit of comedy here. Nashville known for the country music, the comedy, and it's racing. We are back right here for the Honky Tonk 150 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Riptide Tester settled down in the turns 1 and 2. Nicholas Maynard at the tail of the field here. He's got a little bit of damage to that number 02 Ford Mustang. Bobby Kyle will try the outside there off of turns 1 and 2. We've seen guys jump up from the bottom to the top here, racing underneath the water tower. Through turns 1 and 2 is really slick over there as these guys put down some PJ1 before the track tonight here to try to bring in a little bit of extra grip. And then these next gen cars give that lap right there, the Corey Riptide Tester. And if you're new here to the Madness Racing League, never checked this out before, every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. Points being paid out to everybody in the field here, depending on where you finish, is how many points you will get here. Points are wanted as well for bonus. Trouble back here. Caution flag is in the air. Trouble as they come sliding through your living room. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of guys involved back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Terry Hughes Jr. involved. He'll go around as well as looks like cousin Big Country Kyle Fountain will back that ass up here. And take a look here as we're underneath the yellow flag again for the 3rd time here in just a short 15 laps here. Kind of expected to hear these guys underneath the practice session. All they complained about was about the handling and how the track was really slick here up underneath these Goodyear tires. Some of them just now trying to get going here after the first run. Looks like Kyle Fountain gets a little bit loose here down into turns 3 and 4 at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. He'll run right back in. Jonathan Smith to collect the left rear, of Kyle Fountain. Terry Hughes Jr. trying to miss it here. And he'll pull a little Tokyo drift move out of that number 81 Red Bull machine. Way to hold it on for the number 81. We'll back that ass up. See if we can't ride out the front nose of Terry Hughes Jr. as he absolutely avoids chaos here in the turns 1 and 2. Take a look here. See if we see any brutal contact there. Kyle Fountain and Jonathan Smith going at it up here for the, looks like going to be the 7th and 8th place, 6th place spot. Kyle Fountain just gets turned around and Terry Hughes Jr. able to get down on the brakes there, get down on the bottom side of the racetrack and hold on to the number 81 here. Nicholas Maynard able to avoid it on the outside, but Kyle Fountain, a little bit of left rear contact from Jonathan Smith there. He won't be happy with the number 13. He'll drive that number 59 back around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll take that commercial break. Don't go nowhere. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, pit stops are on our way here, 15 laps into tonight's event here, and I would imagine a lot of these guys coming out here to try to patch up on some of these race cars here. Nicholas Maynard, Kyle Fountain, Tony Cook, Bobby Kyle, and John Michael Bryant will come down and pit from, looks like going to be the 3rd or 2nd place spot here. He pull into his box, so John Michael Bryant maybe trying to play a little bit of the gas strategy. Whoever the hell threw up these camera shots should be fired here. As they got me looking at a screen as Nicholas Maynard's guys, so they're going to go gas only in that number 02. Fix a little bit of damage from him and Bobby Kyle's incident. You have to give Kyle Fountain the 3rd place spot off the pit road here. So if you're just now joining in here for tonight's event, this is the Honky Tonk 150. Looking to boogie here in Tennessee at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Corey Riptide Tesner didn't have to do much to redeem the race lead. Holden Wheeler, that number 15 target. Coca-Cola Ford Mustang right behind, and was the pole sitter. He gets a little loose off of turn 4, lap 1, and he'll go around. Corey Tesner will redeem the race lead that way. James Fountain had a great race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. had to come back there after a couple of tough heat races here. The Bristol Motor Speedway was kind to the number 24 Valvoline Machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tesner, speaking of him in wins, picked up the season opener at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Make sure you check all out the Booty Scoot Racing page on the top right of your screen. And head on over there, subscribe, like, and go check out all the previous races. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to double file them here. Getting ready to go back racing here through the Crackle Barrel restart zone. We are live here on the TikTok platform, and we would gladly appreciate it if you recommended a friend. If you yourself want to come on out here and try to get on out on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looks like Nicholas Maynard and Bobby Kyle try to catch the tail end of the field here as Peter leads them through turns 1 and 2. If you're looking for it, you found it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like going to be Nicholas Maynard and Tony Cook catching the tail end of the field here. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go back racing here for the Honky Tonk 150. Tomorrow night, the 2008 Atlanta style for the TNA Truck Series. That's the total non-stop action, and that is indeed what it should be tomorrow night. Total non-stop action. Tire wear will be in effect for every single one of those guys going out there tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Riptide Tesner will not participate in tomorrow night's Truck Series race. He'll serve a suspension for violating the code conduct for Madness Racing League a couple weeks ago at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But he has a chance to pick up the victory here tonight, and it's in his foot through the Geico restart zone. Back green here for the Madness Racing League. Honky Tonk 150. Chris Knighty is able to move his way back up here to the top 5 spot on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And don't adjust your graphic cards. Chris Knighty's got it. The NVIDIA Triple Deuce on the outside. That's really him. Powering past the number 13 down the back straightaway. And Jonathan Smith will have to overdrive just a little bit here, trying to roll back to that left rear quarter panel of the Triple Deuce. This is the best battle on the racetrack. Here's everybody's double file. Kyle Fountain looking to make it 3 wide up the middle with Terry Hughes Jr. And we got a battle back here for this 8th place spot, because you best believe the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant on the outside of that number 23 Toyota Camry ain't going to go nowhere. Chris Knighty on the outside wall up here. That's going to stack him up 4 wide across the back straightaway here at the Nashville Motor Speedway. Corey Tesner goes around. Caution flag is out. That's 2 leaders tonight. Spun out from the lead. John Michael Bryant involved as well. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the instant replay for the boogeyman and top side Corey Tesner. As Corey Tesner goes bottom side here, he'll take a round and around. No Rihanna. The Flow Racing was going with the flow. Him and James Fallon battling for that race lead door to door here. We'll back that ass up here and ride along with the number 5 Flow Racing Chevy Camaro of Corey Tesner. Snaps loose on him here. Nothing he can do. Powell on the outside wall. Here comes John Michael Bryant trying to get hard on the brake. John Michael Bryant will have to kiss that outside wall. Maybe I should call her. Corey Riptide Tesner will go around here. He'll spin from the race lead. We'll battling for the race lead, I shall say here. And that'll leave John Michael Bryant smooching on the outside fence here. But he's getting ready to get ripping through here again. And we'll send it down to the commercial break. Running out of things to call here. 20 laps into the night's event here. Chaos for the number 5 and John Michael Bryant. We'll be back in just a moment. Back down here on the main broadcast for the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll kill the music down just a little bit here. Peter, the pace car, to roll in the rest of the field here. A couple more guys coming back down pit road to address some of the more damage cars here that was riding in the back half of the field here. But we'll keep everything back out here on the racetrack where James Fountain, the number 24 Valvoline Chevy Camaro, has ridden the race lead, I shall say, here in Nashville SuperSpeedway in Tennessee. Didn't have to do much for it. Corey Riptide Tesner will spin out from the race lead. That'll give it to James Fountain. Chase Johnson up 6 spots from where he started. from Greer, South Carolina. That's the Season 1 Cup Series champion, where we tagged on the Generation 6 cars for, I believe, 10 races or so. You can go check that out on the YouTube page. Holden Wheeler from Mooresville, North Carolina. Been bad fast here all year long. Got right hooked at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Head on into the outside wall. And that ended his race early there. He didn't have a chance at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He goes around on a restart at the Bristol Motor Speedway on the pole here tonight, though. And he'll go around on turn 4, lap number 1. But he stayed in contention here up in his top 3 here. So Holden Wheeler looking to make something shake. Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Nothing much more I could say about the number 13 of Jonathan Smith here. Picked up the win in the Xfinity Series a couple weeks ago at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Been bad fast, almost had one a couple weeks ago. He's got a really fast Nap Daddy Racing number 13 Premier Setups Chevy Camaro here tonight. He's rolled his way up here to the 4th place spot, trying to make his way back up there to the front of the field. Travo Wall driving the Rock and Roll Racing UFC Modelo Ford Mustang has gotten some speed into that team recently. They have been banging out testing sessions, trying to get that program right, trying to run up front more often. Travo Wall says he could smell the blood knocking on the door of victory lane. Blake Hochschild, the father of 3, 25-year-old. When he don't have his hands full during the week, he's definitely got his hands full inside of that race car. But the number 12 Toyota Camry seems to be handling quite decently here tonight. The Silver Bullet of Tony Cook will catch the back end of the field here. We're getting ready to go back racing here from the Nashville SuperSpeedway. James Fountain's going to be the race leader with Chase Johnson on the outside. Holden Wheeler around out the 3rd place spot with Jonathan Smith right behind him. Travo Wall, Blake Hochschild, Chris Knighty, Kyle Fountain will be the top 8 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And everything's going to be in the hands of James Fountain in that Valvoline number 24. Chase Johnson Racing, chartered entry. Big stack up back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody getting the bumper. Travo Wall looks like he might have missed the gear there. That'll stack up everybody. Terry Hughes Jr. will give the shot to there. Big contact up here to Travo Wall. That'll ship Corey Tesner up the racetrack. What a save by Corey Riptide Tesner, as these guys are absolutely going at it here. We're only 25 laps into the 100 laps scheduled for tonight. 5 laps in the book for the overtime if we really do need them. Nicholas Maynard trying to get back in control here. The Silver Bullet of Tony Cook rounding out the back half of the field here. Corey Riptide Tester will slap the outside wall there. Come back down the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Here comes Terry Hughes Jr. ripping a banger on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That Red Bull machine, as Terry Hughes Jr. will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. Pissed off is the number 81, as he'll get around Travo Wall and Chris Knighty there. 2 for $1 down into turns 3 and 4. Again, ladies and gentlemen, head into Charlotte Motor Speedway 2 weeks from now for the Stars and Stripes race for the Madness Racing League. Going to try to see if we can't get everybody out there supporting the troops in the next-gen paint scheme, American style. Chris Knighty trying to work back to that back bumper of Terry Hughes Jr. Not able to get it. Terry Hughes Jr. will shove the dirty air to the front Ford Mustang bumper of the Triple Deuce of Chris Knighty. Terry Hughes Jr. down the back straightaway. The Red Bull machine will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack again that last time around. And he looks even quicker here as he's really able to wrap and hold down on the bottom side of the racetrack. The number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. got some great drive off as he'll separate himself from the Triple Deuce that last time around. Give it a Holden Wheeler as the fastest race car on the track that last time around. Is Showtime Chase Johnson will lose a little bit of touch to Holden Wheeler, but James Fountain is all gone down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Off of turns 3 and 4, Blake Hochschild in the number 12 Toyota Camry. He's moved his way up to the 4th place spot here. Got Kyle Fountain right behind him. Don't get him confused. 2 Fountain brothers in the field. Little brother James Fountain leading the race. Kyle Fountain on the march through the field right now. That number 59 Camaro is bad fast through the corner of turns 1 and 2 here. He's trying to nap his way around the number 12 here and shut off the dirty air to the front nose of his Camaro, but not able to do it there. As here comes Jonathan Smith starting to knock back down on that back door. Travo Wall, Chris Knighty, and Terry Hughes Jr. nose to tail here across the front stretch. The crowd will roar as Terry Hughes Jr. will sail across here, but Chris Knighty trying to get it back in blood as he got a little bit loose there, and The number 81 was able to take advantage of him, get around that Ford Mustang. 3 Fords down the back straightaway over Corey Tesner, the former race leader. Chevy Camaro for Chase Johnson Racing. Then you got the ball back there to Blake Hobby, Chris Knighty, and then John Michael Bryan, Nicholas Maynard, and Tony Cook will come down pit road here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and park the number 33 Silver Bullet. Tons of damage to Tony Cook's machine here tonight. And Bobby Kyle back out on the racetrack, currently registered 6 laps down. Chris Knighty in that battle with Terry Hughes Jr. will separate itself here. And we'll try to find a little bit more action around the Nashville Superspeedway. This is the battle for the race lead. James Fountain, big loose off the corner there, slap the outside wall. And that'll open up the door for Holden Wheeler down across the front stretch here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Holden Wheeler will roll right back to that back bump for the number 24 Battling machine. James Fountain might need a oil check after this one. The Coca-Cola Target 15 Ford Mustang trying to go back to where he came from. And that's the up front here as he's set on the pole for tonight's Honky Tonk 150. Holden Wheeler trying to make something shake here. To the front of the pack here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We've seen Holden Wheeler chilling out with Luke Combs before the race. Him and Luke Combs were throwing back whiskey shots inside of that hauler. Must be working out for Holden Wheeler. He's absolutely wheeling that thing through turns 1 and 2, closing up the gap. James Fountain gets big loose on the outside. James Fountain slapped the outside wall there. Holden Wheeler able to take advantage of him here. Down into turns 3 and 4. James Fountain's going to have to regather up that Valvoline number 24. Chevy Camaro, Holden Wheeler up off of turns 3 and 4. Get back to the race lead. Give him that lap lead that last time around. Holden Wheeler back out front here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain runs out in the second place spot, followed by Showtime Chase Johnson. Blake Hochschild has a hard-charging Kyle Fountain all in his back rear view mirror, as Kyle Fountain shifts the 5th gear down the back straightaway. Off the gear, downshift down the 4th gear. Kyle Fountain really able to hold a pretty line down there on the bottom of turns 3 and 4 up off the corner. Kyle Fountain to close the distance up there to Blake Hochschild. But Blake Hochschild will cut the air off down the number 59 Chevy Camaro of Kyle Fountain. So this Toyota absolutely got some handling inside of it because Blake Hochschild is just able to go wherever the 59 goes and play some defense with that number 12 Toyota Camry. Is his. The Paint Hoss machine has gave Blake Hochschild one hell of a piece to drive here tonight. Here comes Chris Knighty with the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He'll run a 29.98. The race leader will run a 30.14 of Holden Wheeler. We'll check on this last time around. Holden Wheeler will run a 30.10 and looks like going to be the next fastest driver on the racetrack. You have to give it to Blake Hochschild here. The 30.12 on the racetrack for Blake Hochschild. He is absolutely shitting and getting here around the Nashville Superspeedway. The Paint Hoss number 12 Toyota Camry. He asked for a air pressure adjustment out the back half of that number 12 car. They'll give it to him. He's been able to gain a little speed here. Look at the distance he's put between him and Kyle Fountain as Kyle Fountain scrapes the outside wall. That'll open up the door for Jonathan Smith. They won't even hold the battle here as Kyle Fountain will let the number 13 Nap Daddy Racing machine of Jonathan Smith ride on by here. Not trying to cause any trouble here. We'll scoot back up here for the battle for the race lead. James Fountain slowly reeling back in that number 15 of Holden Wheeler here. Kitty across the front straightaway here at the Nashville Superspeedway. 37 laps are complete out of the schedule 100 tonight. We'll move you down here on the night's racing Booty Scoot Racing channel's first Madness Racing League fast and loud of the night. The more you smack that like button, the more you press that follow button, the louder it'll get. racetrack here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Holden Wheeler still got the race lead from James Fountain as they sail through turns 3 and 4 across the front stretch here. Holden Wheeler will lead another lap here. 42 of them complete out of the schedule 100. We're almost at the halfway point up to this point. 4 caution laps are in the book here tonight to start tonight's main event. Holden Wheeler will spin out from the pole position on lap number 1, but he's back out front here down the back straightaway. Right through your race living room at 180 miles an hour. Holden Wheeler, the race leader, being followed by James Fountain, who really didn't have to do much to get up here from the track position. That's the number 8 Flow Racing machine of Corey Testers. Chris Knight and Trevor Walk continue to battle it out back here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Trevor Wall Knight giving the triple deuce of Chris Knight an inch out here on the racetrack. We told you Trevor Wall has been putting in tons of effort and time into this program. So has Chris Knight. Chris Knight will slide job the number 7 of Trevor Wall. And it looks like the caution flag maybe that's flowing here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Maybe I'm hearing shit out of the left hand of my ear from this spotter that I have on here. No caution flag is in the air. I apologize there for you folks on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. We'll go back to where we were just talking about, trying to find a little bit of action on the racetrack here. It looks like Trevor Wall and Chris Knight have been the ones going at it here. Chris Knight has locked it into another gear here. He has clicked in like a 6th gear into that triple deuce machine as he separated himself from the number 59, Jim Fountain Racing. Tyler's Pub of the Beard, Chevy Camaro of Kyle Fountain, Trevor Wall's UFC, Modelo Ford Mustang, trying to make something shake here in the turns 3 and 4. Back up here to the front of the pack where things are starting to get really dicey for this race lead. James Fountain is trying his best, everything in the book to run down the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. Just not able to get to him. Here's Holden Wheeler doing an excellent job. Throwing back the 30 air to the front half of the number 24 Valvoline Chevy Camaro. You see James Fountain just gets tight, not able to get the car down like he wants to. Has to chase it up the racetrack, get out of the gas later. Caution flag is in the air. Caution flag is in the air here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like going to be for Terry Hughes Jr. The bad luck, no, maybe is on its way to start haunting Terry Hughes Jr. The Red Bull number 81 Ford Mustang had cut some of the fastest laps on the racetrack. For the last 10 or so laps underneath the fastest lap, we'll back that ass up with Mr. TJ Hughes and take a look and see what happens. It's Terry. Looks like he may have just gotten a little loose off of turns 3 and 4 here. The best option he had to do was go down towards the grass, riding with the number 81, a Red Bull Ford Mustang. Terry Hughes, you see him bobble right there. Get on the brakes, try to hold on to it. And he, pow, to the outside wall for the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. Really able to get on the brake there. Thought he had it clear. And then when he backed that ass up here one more time with the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr., we'll be able to take a look and see what happened to Terry. Maybe I'm going to assume they thought he was back straight here. They just snapped on him one more time. We'll back it up and we'll ride it. See if we can't get an inboard cam. There we go with Terry Hughes Jr. As he was just heading off the corner and snaps loose on him, but he's really hard on the brake there. Pow! I'll take a number 7 from the Crackle Barrel. Says Terry Hughes. He'll back that ass up. Refire the number 81 Red Bull Ford Mustang here. The caution flag is out here. We got it going. We'll take it to the commercial break. We'll be back after this. Don't go nowhere.
Sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one.
back down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and this, ladies and gentlemen, might be the real pit stops here for the first time tonight. About 50 laps into tonight's event, half the field, maybe the whole field, going to bring it on down the pit road, led by Holden Wheeler, James Fountain, Showtime, Chase Johnson, Blake Hochschild, Jonathan Smith, Corey Riptide Tessner, Chris Knighting, Travis Wall, John Michael Bryant, Kyle Fountain. That's how they roll down pit road. Everybody's going to pile into their boxes here. Guys are up on the wall here. Holden Wheeler from the race lead slides into his box. Here comes Travis Wall. Kyle Fountain's in there. Looks like it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for most of these guys. Kyle Fountain's guys jack up the right side of the race car here. Nicholas Maynard's guys are out here on the racetrack. See if we can't get a good down look in here with the kid of Nicholas Maynard. His guys are jacking up the right side of that race car. So it's going to be at least 4 Goodyear tires for the kid of Nicholas Maynard on his Maynard Motors Team Penske Ford Mustang. Everybody's winning the race off pit road here. They'll have to give it to, looks like, going to be Holden. James Fountain's able to get back out here off the pit road first. Over Holden Wheeler, Chase Johnson, Blake Hochschild, Jonathan Smith, Corey Tessner, Chris Knighting, Travis Wall, Terry Hughes Jr. still stuck down there on pit road. And here he comes now, followed by Nicholas Maynard, getting some of that damage fixed on that number 02 machine. As his guys will continue to beat and bang. Bobby Kyle coming down pit road right now in that 777 Mountain Dew Toyota Camry. Trying everything in his book here to bring it on home with the most points possible here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So everybody shakes out to where they looks like they're going to be at. James Fountain will come right back out here with a great stop from that number 24 Valvoline Chevy Camaro. Chase Johnson Racing pick crew of his. It'll jump in one spot there from where he was at as he gave up the race lead after getting a little loose off the corner there to Holden Wheeler. And Holden Wheeler complained a little bit on the radio there about the handling inside of that number 15 Coca-Cola Ford Mustang. But these guys will take a half pound out of the left rear tire, make a wedge adjustment here. He'll just hold on like Drake. They'll bring it on home for him. He'll be able to get a little bit of long run speed inside of that number 15 Rick Ware Racing Coca-Cola Ford Mustang for Holden Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Hochschild having a great run here tonight at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. He wants that guitar. Has a trophy to put into his case. The number 12 Toyota Camry has been cutting some of the fastest average race pace speed laps on the racetrack. That meaning within a 5-lap average, Blake Hochschild had the fastest average time in those 5 laps of a minute, almost 2 minutes, about a minute and 23, somewhere around there is what we were seeing with his 2 to 3 lap averages. Blake Hochschild been extremely fast here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Getting ready to go back racing here through the Echo Park Speedway. Restart zone. Give it to James Fountain. Green. Back racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are at the halfway point this time around. Lap 50 is where we'll take turns 1 and 2. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack is Chris Knighting up underneath Corey Riptide Tessner, driving that Flow Racing number 5 machine. Travis Wall able to downshift there. Not able to get it turned though down in the corner, just like Nicholas Maynard. Bobby Kyle trying to bring it back down pit road back there in the back half of the pit, back half of the field. Great racing off of turns 1 and 2 there. Nicholas Maynard trying to get to the back half of the pack. Blake Hochschild about to fill into the field there, excuse me. As I had to get something to drink there to wet my whistle. I've been talking people's asses off all night long. Trying to get everybody to go check out the Booty Scoot Racing page on the YouTube platform. Reminding them that they can always take a look at the races that they have here in the Madness Racing League. All the full races posted fully on the YouTube page here. Everybody holding great lines here around the Nashville SuperSpeedway down the back straightaway. Looks like Travis Wall looking to make that pass around the Triple Deuce NVIDIA machine of Chris Knighting. Chris Knighting will get tight, sell up the racetrack there. That'll open up the door for John Michael Bryant and Terry Hughes Jr. as they work their way across the front stretch here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Nicholas Maynard off pace here big time as they fall way behind. This is the back half of the field with Travis Wall, Terry Hughes Jr. Terry Hughes Jr. brought out the last caution flag on the racetrack. But he's able to repair that number 81 machine. He'll just kiss the outside wall there. The number 51 is Showtime Chase Johnson. Not liking that number 51 STI Johnson Camaro right now. Since it's really hard for him to get down on the bottom side of the racetrack there without overusing that right front tire. You see them sail back up here off of turns 1 and 2. Just not able to fully commit the way that he wants to inside that number 51 Camaro as he sails down the back straightaway here. Blake Hochschild will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He'll cut a 29.80. The race leader, James Fountain, will cut a 29.95. So Blake Hochschild a little bit faster here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll check on this time around. A huge lap there for Holden Wheeler. A 29.71 for the number 15 machine. James Fountain will damn near match him though with a 29.73. But Holden Wheeler will cut 2/10 off his previous lap. So will Chase Johnson. He's scooting back down there to the 29.8. Blake Hochschild down to the 29.80 right there. So he's almost in that 29.7 bracket range as the race leaders here to continue to pick off some green flag racing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I'd imagine the Goodyears would start to fade on top of the race cars here. They would become a handful for these guys. So if you haven't got that race car to where you want it, how you like it, you better start asking for more adjustments here as the run prevails here. A bow tie, a Ford Oval, followed by another bow tie and a Toyota Camry round out the top 4 here. So one of each manufacturer here, showing you guys that these supply parts here from NASCAR here to these Next Gen Cup Series race car here really coming into effect with the way that these cars handle and race here. Tough to pass here for Corey Tessner, showing you here. It's all about the movement, all about the hand placement. He tries to work the back bumper of the number 12 of Blake Hochschild down here to turns 3 and 4. Blake Hochschild, though, able to get his foot down here on the outside, but Corey Tessner will complete the slide job across the front nose of Blake Hochschild here, riding out the front bumper of his number 12 Toyota Camry down into turns 1 and 2. Blake Hochschild real hard on the downshift there. Has to come back to the gas late to overcorrect for it, though. That'll allow Corey Tessner to rip up off there. If Blake Hochschild would slow the car down just a tad bit more before downshifting, it would prevent the wheel hop there from the over RPMs revving there. As you see him get battle big loose there. He'll slap the outside wall here. Blake Hochschild here needs to have one of his spotters or somebody call down to him, have him downshift later into the corner here so the tires aren't overcooking themselves here. Speaking of Cook, Tony Cook out of his number 33 Silver Bullet Chevy Camaro as he's down on pit road with one of the pit reporters here. Caution flag is out. James Fountain. Caution flag is out here for the number 24 Valvoline Chevy Camaro for Showtime Chase Johnson. That's the third chartered entry here tonight for Chase Johnson Racing, 24 Valvoline. That was the race leader. That's the third time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the race leader spin out from the race lead on their own here. James Fountain must have been battling some handling conditions, riding on board with the number 24 machine. We'll back that ass up with him. It just looks like he'll step out on him, snap loose here, pow, hard on the outside wall there. For the number 24 Valvoline machine, we will back that ass up here. Prayers for the number 24 of James Fountain as he took a Dale Earnhardt type shot. Take a look. Bang! Hard on the outside wall for the number 24 James Fountain. He'll collect the number 15 of Holden Wheeler as well. Holden Wheeler's able to keep it going here. James Fountain with a sledgehammer shot to the outside wall there. We'll back that ass up one more time here and take a look at the number 24 and see exactly what happened to him. What an unfortunate day here for James Fountain up front, leading laps here. Next thing you know, you're head on to the outside wall there. Bam! A little bit of overcorrection there. Net coat with the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. That'll bring damage to Holden Wheeler. But James Fountain will go around here. So you listen to the radio, he'll swing it back to his guys. He'll let the window net down on that number 24 Valvoline Chevy Camaro. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars. But we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Missed it.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And when I tell you things could really get interesting here, who is going to try a different strategy here with 40 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen? Kyle Fountain, Nicholas Maynard, and James Fountain, the guy underneath the caution flag 4 here. Big hard shot to the outside wall there. He'll bring it down to the garage. That'll be the day for James Fountain. But older brother Kyle Fountain has a chance here. He'll come down pit road with 39 laps remaining. We'll see what the number 59 Jim Fountain Racing chartered entry does here. Will he take his last set of Goodyear tires here? No, looks like it's going to be damage repair only for the number 59 of Kyle Fountain. Nicholas Maynard brings it down here on the pit road. His guys will stick up on their ball here with their tires in hand, so it'll be a damage fix for all three of these folks down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel's pit road. Back out here on the main broadcast here with the rest of the guys. We'll show you how things will shake out here. Showtime Chase Johnson, the Season 1 Cup Series champion, when we took on the Generation 6 cars. Ladies and gentlemen, possibility that maybe those could come back in the future. You know, never know how it works out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Riptide Tesner has moved back out here to the second place spot after spinning around earlier, collecting the outside wall. It'll cost him all his track position. He's fought hard for it. He's back out front. Blake Hochschild has had the run of the night here so far. He was bat fast at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in his dual race. Led a couple laps there with Travo Wall in his dual. Had an okay race at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Now he's up here to the third place spot. He'll start behind Chase Johnson here on the restart. Jonathan Smith looking to pick up the next gen victory here tonight. He said he loved these race cars. Was so close at the victory there in overtime at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And if he had had just a couple more laps green at the Bristol Motor Speedway, maybe something could have shook out for Jonathan Smith. But here he is with 38, going to be 37 laps to go when we get ready to go back racing here underneath the green flag, with a chance to pick up the victory here tonight and lock himself into the playoffs for the Madness Racing League. John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver. Ladies and gentlemen, as I look down there, just because you wear pasties over the nipples don't make it okay. That is indecent exposure and you will go to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, remind your mom that John Michael Bryant just turned dirty 30. Not trying to get down and dirty on the racetrack till after tonight's main event. Holden Wheeler's moved up here after coming down for a pit stop. And Terry Hughes Jr. in that Red Bull machine. He'll crack another cold one. Getting ready to go back racing here. Terry Hughes Jr. asks for a brand new can of Red Bull. He is pissed off. His eyes are as wide as a cokehead. Here they come through the Echo Park restart zone. Chase Johnson's going to be in charge. Back green here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. For the Honky Tonk 150, Blake Hochschild go down the bottom side of the racetrack there. He'll miss a shift or something. That'll spread him 3 wide here. Chris Knighty up the middle through Travo Wall. They're able to sort it out, though, as they head through turns 1 and 2. Everybody able to hold on to it. Showtime Chase Johnson, the race leader here, followed by Corey Tesner, Jonathan Smith here in the turn 3 and 4 here, going through the restart, trying to climb back through the gears here. Get the oil back hot. Here's Terry Hughes Jr. trying to run down Chris Knighty. He'll collect the outside wall there. No damage to the number 81 here. Yow, 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 yow. Across the front straightaway here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You are watching the Honky Tonk 150. 35 laps remain. Next time around here, scheduled for 105. The 5 are for extra overtime if we need them. The number 51 and Chase Johnson has redeemed the race lead here with 35 laps remaining here. Every lap led is 1 point added to your total score. Showtime Chase Johnson, we're going to go back-to-back here tonight at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. As he picked up the win 2 weeks ago at the Bristol Motor Speedway. John Michael Bryant absolutely blocking the ever-living shit out of Holden Wheeler. Trying to throw some dirty air back there to the target Ford Mustang 15 of Holden Wheeler. Holden Wheeler not having it here. He'll give the back bumper a shot of John Michael Bryant. Ship him up the racetrack to the outside of the wall. The battle's on here between John Michael Bryant and Holden Wheeler. Holden Wheeler not happy with the way that he was just raced here by John Michael Bryant. He'll pull up door to door. The number 23 Toyota Camry as they battle across the front stretch here. Give it to Holden Wheeler over John Michael Bryant here for the 4th place spot, battling door to door here to turn 22. Holden Wheeler, John Michael Bryant absolutely going at it here. John Michael Bryant gave Holden Wheeler the right hook at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Holden Wheeler not happy. That placed John Michael Bryant on the aggressive driving list a couple of weeks ago at the Echo Park Speedway. Trevo Wall continuing to have another great run here tonight. Chris Knighty trying to work underneath Blake Hochschild through turns 3 and 4 here. Both of them straight to the outside wall. Get John Michael Bryant the fifth fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. As Showtime Chase Johnson will cut a 29.89. He'll be the fastest race car on the racetrack, followed by Corey Riptide Tesla, who will run a 29.95, tied with Jonathan Smith for the second fastest on the racetrack. 67 laps are complete here, and the caution flag is flowing back here for, looks like going to be Chris Knighty here, as he has a broken left toe link, maybe a flat right tire on that NVIDIA triple deuce machine. We'll throw up the instant replay here and back that ass up here as we always do, reminding you that you can go get your Booty Scoot Racing Back That Ass Up shirts today. Make sure you're in the Discord here. We'll get you an order in, get you one shipped straight to your door. But we'll work the caution flag here for the fifth time tonight for the triple deuce NVIDIA Ford Mustang of Chris Knighty, as he looks like got a little loose off the back straightaway here through turns 3 and 4. Excuse me. It's Chris Knighty heads through the corner here. Oh, his head's off. Turns 2 here, scraping through the field. And he'll give the grass a haircut here with 33 laps remaining here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A broken toe link or a flat left rear tire for Chris Knighty here. He'll spin it around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Has it refire though. Chris Knighty not happy with the way that his race car was heading there. We'll take the commercial break. Don't go nowhere. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, you're watching the pit road cam as you see a couple of these guys make their way on down. It looks like it's going to be the number 59 of Kyle Fountain, Nicholas Maynard, James Fountain still on pit road, and Chris Knighty as well. Bobby Kyle will be the lucky dog this time around. Bark, 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 bark for Bobby Kyle on his way on by. He'll get another lap back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. If you're just now tuning in with us, we got 30 laps remaining here. 5 are scheduled for the overtimes in the book if we need them. Showtime Chase Johnson has redeemed the race lead here, and Corey Riptide Tesla has gained a little bit of track position to get back up here in that second place spot. Jonathan Smith not able to get a great restart there. Here he was talking underneath the caution flag here to his spotter, said he was going to switch over to second gear here for restarts here, as he felt like the handling is going away on that number 13 Nap Daddy Racing Designs Chevy Camaro. It felt like the first gear was just slipping the tire, not giving him the grip that he really needs, to be able to launch forward there with those 4 fresh Goodyear tires that he had here. So Jonathan Smith trying everything in that playbook to make something shake. Holden Wheeler set on the pole here tonight, led a little bit of laps here tonight. I believe about 14 or so laps for Holden Wheeler. Go ahead and add those points in the bank for the number 15 Ford Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina. He'll make the trip from North Carolina over here to Tennessee. About a 5-hour drive. As I burp here into the microphone here, as I was throwing back some Budweisers with the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant before tonight's race. He said to give him a little bit of extra praise here on the night's broadcast here, as he's sold out of that J Money Sense neon and black out shirt on his hauler, reminding everybody that they will pre-order those shirts a couple weeks from now. And ladies and gentlemen, reminding you to head on over to NapDaddyRacing.com, sponsoring the number 13 of Jonathan Smith here, to go get you a pace scheme here today. Jonathan Smith representing Nap Daddy Racing out here. You see it on the back of the car, www.napdaddyracing.com. Looks like everybody's traveling their way back through the field here. Kyle Fountain catching the tail end of the field. So is Nicholas Maynard. Bobby Kyle, Resher the lucky dog here. He's currently waiting for these guys to catch the tail end here. But we're getting ready to go back racing here. Fumbling our way through turns 3 and 4 here. Kyle Fountain and Nicholas Maynard will catch the tail end of the field. Everything's going to be in the hand of Chase Johnson, with 30 laps remaining. Going to be 29 when we cross the line this time. Back here for the Honky Tonk 150. Chase Johnson brings them back to the green flag here. And it's Chevy Camaro here. Everybody's selling here through your living room, ripping back through the gears on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Nicholas Maynard's been trying to get that Ford Mustang repaired all night long here. He'll tell in the back half of the field here, the rest of these guys. With 30 laps remaining, if we can get another one of those great green flag runs that we had earlier tonight, this should be one hell of a show here. Is this going to be all about the tire saving here tonight? That's what the battle of the talk's been here. Even during happy hour, these guys said that you are going to have to keep a little bit of rubber on these Goodyear tires here. If we get a long green flag run here towards the end, 30 laps remain here. Now 28, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. As I'm trying to look at my ticker over here, I see Chris Knighty coming off pit road right here. He'll rejoin the racetrack here. Hoping, try not to go a lap down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, but he will be re-registered. The Booty Scoot Racing channel's lucky dog. Park for Chris Knighty. When the caution flag comes around here, he's got a 3-lap difference between him and Bobby Kyle. Unless somebody else was to get lapped here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jonathan Smith has moved up there like a cow to that second place spot here with that number 13 Chevy Camaro. So 3 bow ties battling it out here for the race lead on the Booty Scoot Racing channel's Honky Tonk 150. Looking to play a fiddle. We'll strum the guitar, your choice here. Blake Hochschild not been outside that top 5 much here tonight as he currently runs in the 6th place spot across the front stretch here. 25 laps to go next time around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Blake Hochschild will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He will cut a 29.70, and Jonathan Smith will cut the second fastest lap on the racetrack with a 29.75. Jonathan Smith down on the bottom side of the racetrack here as he is all over the back bumper of Chase Johnson here as they head off the corner through turns 3 and 4. Chase Johnson starting to drag that diffuser a little bit on the back end here. Had the tire pressures got up to full potential for Chase Johnson here as Jonathan Smith rides through turns 3 and 4. Yeah, it's 1 and 2, Down the back straightaway here for Corey Tester. Jonathan Smith looking for the race lead here. Down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. 25 laps to go. Jonathan Smith says it's time to go. He's got to go now if he's going to make the chance down on the bottom side. Corey Tesner able to close the draft up there to the right rear quarter panel. Jonathan Smith has been a great angle into turns 1 and 2. Shut the air off to the number 5, but Corey Tesner will undercut both drivers here. Corey Tesner looking for 2 for $1 down the back straightaway off of turn 2 for the race lead. Corey Tesner just not able to get the gas all the way through the corner like he needs to. Not able to through 3 and 4. Chase Johnson able to shut the air off back there to the number 5. Meow, you can throw a blanket over the top 4 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And knock. Here comes your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, has entered the party here, and he definitely didn't bring any food, and he damn sure didn't bring any drinks. He brought a whole can of ass whooping to the party. John Michael Bryant looking to rattle a little bit cages with a beautiful shot here from the Nashville SuperSpeedway for the Honky Tonk 150. Chase Johnson will lead another lap here. He's able to really put a little bit of distance there between him and Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith, though, known for that tire saving ability inside of that number 13 Chevy Camaro of his. Can Jonathan Smith be doing everything in his power here as he knows that there maybe need to be a little bit of Goodyear rubber left on these race cars? Heading into tonight's final run here, ladies and gentlemen, 22 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And it is going to be one hell of a show here if these guys can keep it green for us. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Madness Racing League Cup Series here, Season 2, race number 3, live here from the Nashville SuperSpeedway. 20 laps to go. Next time around, we'll throw you down on the racetrack for tonight's final Cup Series Fast and Lap. Welcome back here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. That was tonight's final Fast and Loud here for the Cup Series for the Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series Season 2 race number 3. Chase Johnson will bring him across the line. He'll lead another lap here. 22 laps to go here for the Honky Tonk 150. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been one show here tonight in Nashville. Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember, we took on the Bristol Motor Speedway just a couple weeks ago. So these guys stayed around in town in Nashville to make sure that they didn't miss tonight's event here. Corey Riptide Tesla will cut the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around. He'll cut a 30-13, and Chase Johnson will cut a 30-18, followed by Jonathan Smith, 30-14. So Jonathan Smith had the fastest lap. We'll have to check lap times as everybody comes around this time. Jonathan Smith and Chase Johnson here. The battle for the race lead will match lap speeds that last time with 30.02s apiece here. So Chase Johnson able to pull away from Jonathan Smith here as you ride out in the front bumper of the Nap Daddy Racing number 13 from Goldsboro, North Carolina, as he is trying everything in his power. 3 bow ties battling it out here for the race win. Holden Wheeler, the first guy in a Ford Mustang, followed by John Michael Bryant's Toyota and Blake Koschild's Toyota. We talked about Blake Koschildt all night long. This battle right here should be one hell of a good one here as Terry Hughes Jr., Blake Koschildt, and John Michael Bryant battle it out here for the third place spot. Jonathan Smith, though, on the other hand, says meanwhile he's closed up the back bumper here. Kitty. John Smith here through turns 3 and 4. He'll try the outside of the number 5 and the number 51 of Chase Johnson. They'll be side by side for the race lead down into turns 1 and 2 with 19 laps to go here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Jonathan Smith able to arc the corner really good there from Chase Johnson. And Chase Johnson will have to pull up behind him. Chase Johnson will lose the race lead here with 19 laps to go here. Jonathan Smith here trying every bit in his book here. Everything that he knows, in his notebook to try to bring home the win here in that Nap Daddy Racing number 13 Camaro. Up off the corner here, Jonathan Smith. These first 4 cars have separated themselves for about a second over this pack right here. Holden Wheeler, John Michael Bryant, and the rest of you. Meanwhile, Holden Wheeler trying to wheel his way around Corey Riptide Tesner. He'll try the left and try the right side and not able to get it here. Corey Riptide Tesner trying everything in his book here to hold on to that third place spot on the outside. Holden Wheeler driving the number 15 on the bottom. Corey Riptide Tesner with a number change here in the Cup Series. He's driving the number 5. Unlike Chase Johnson, but he's driving it for Chase Johnson Racing here. We'll shoot back here on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. Travo Wall, Kyle Bowman, and Nicholas Maynard going at it here with 17 laps to go on the Booty Scooter Racing channel. You are watching the Madness Racing League Cup Series live from the Nashville SuperSpeedway, playing that honky tonk badonky donk. Chase Johnson all over the back bumper here of Jonathan Smith here. The battle for the race lead is back on here as Chase Johnson has closed the distance up here to Jonathan Smith, trying to make something shake here. 15 laps to go when we get round back to the line next time around. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up, stomp those feet, grab another cigarette, pop another beer. Here they come. Chase Johnson really able to hold on to the bottom side of the racetrack there on that number 51, but Jonathan Smith putting on an absolute masterpiece of an aero blocking. Playing defense here in these next-gen cars is the name of the game. That's what you have to do if you want to be fast and you want to win these races. You have to feed the car behind you the dirty air, and Jonathan Smith's just leaving enough room here from lane to lane for the number 51 to have the air sit back over the top side of that number 51 Chevy Camaro, back out on the back side of that spoiler there, and you see it'll drag back to the number 51. And you see how Jonathan Smith's really able to get back to the gas before Jonathan Smith here. Meanwhile, though, a perfect example of what to do and how to do it really good is right here between Corey Tesner and Holden Wheeler here. As Corey Tesner and Holden Wheeler have been battling door to door here, side by side through each and every single one of these corners. Holden Wheeler really up off the gas there, big time. He'll slide up out the side. Almost get to the left rear quarter panel. Corey Tesner drags him back here, just like you're supposed to do. That's how they write the rules here. You're looking through a beautiful shot in the turns 3 and 4 here. Jonathan Smith really able to hold his line down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Chase Johnson will scrape the wall. That'll add like a little bit of a boost there for the number 51 there. He'll close the gap up big time. He's going to make the move. He's got to do it right now. With 13 laps to go here, Chase Johnson has got to use every bit of this momentum that he gets on any one of these runs with the Goodyear tire starting to fall off here. Meanwhile, Jonathan Smith will change his lineup a little bit through turns 1 and 2. That'll shake up the race here for the race lead between him and Chase Johnson here. Chase Johnson will try down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Heading for the battle for the race lead. This could be the battle for the race win. Holden Wheeler and Corey Tesner will finally get back in line and settle the differences here. John Michael Bryant and Blake Hochschild continue to go at it here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Back there battling for that top 5 spot. Travo Wall, Nicholas Maynard. Looks like Nicholas Maynard has gotten around the number 59 of Kyle Fountain. Kyle Fountain got a little bit of damage there in the front of that number 59 Camaro here, but Blake Hochschild, these two yellow machines absolutely going at it here. Looks like two highlighters absolutely banging it out for who's going to be the best highlighter on the paper. Blake Hochschild a little tight through turns 3 and 4, but able to keep it off the wall there. And Terry Hughes Jr., John Michael Bryant. The rivalry, quote unquote, here between Terry Hughes Jr. and John Michael Bryant. Will we see something here tonight? Terry Hughes Jr. put over that back bumper. Will he try to rattle the boogeyman's cage here in the closing laps with 11 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel? The battle for the third place spot is definitely separated between Holden Wheeler and Corey Tesner, and Jonathan Smith is starting to put a little bit of a gap between him and the number 51 of Chase Johnson. Has Jonathan Smith done everything possible here tonight to pull away with the win in the Honky Tonk 150 and bring that fiddle on home? Can he play it? Come on, Jonathan Smith. He's got 9 laps to go next time around. Man, there's a caution flag back here. Holden Wheeler hard into the outside wall. Caution flag here for the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. As he comes flying through the grass, we'll back that ass up here for an instant replay here of Holden Wheeler. Smacks hard into the outside wall. We'll take a look and see what the hell just happened. Holden Wheeler collects the outside wall, tears off the left front quarter panel. Him and Corey Tesner down on the bottom side of the grass here. Corey Tesner. Did he collect the outside wall there? But we know Holden Wheeler down here on the bottom side cutting the grass here. We've seen it up to this point here. Did Holden Wheeler come back up on the racetrack here? Tons of damage to the right front there. The toe link looks possibly broken as he's throwing grass all over the pit lane entrance here. 8 laps to go when we come back around the next time around. Caution flag is out for Holden Wheeler after slamming the outside wall there. Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina has absolutely put on a clinic here as he was able to hold on to those Goodyear tires, was pulling away with it here. As I'm hearing from the admin, we are headed to overtime. Jonathan Smith's going to be the race leader. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back down here on the hill. Welcome back down here Hey, what the hell is going on here? Getting ready to head to overtime is what it's starting to look like over here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. They might have about 5 laps to go when we get ready to go back racing here. It's going to be Showtime Chase Johnson, the race leader here underneath the caution flag. Several of these drivers come down pit road. Jonathan Smith won the battle off pit road there as he come down and got a little splash of Sunoco race fuel. And it looks like I'm going to bleed 4 Goodyear tires for Jonathan Smith here. Nicholas Maynard will move up here. He had no choice but to stay out here. No tires for the number 02. So we can't pull up the pit stop lap there. They can kind of go adjust to see who did what. Bobby Kyle pitted on lap 90 as well here. Excuse me. It's lap 90 as well here. You just can't see it really well if you look really closely there to the graph. There is a yellow smidge there at the end of Jonathan Smith and Terry Hughes Jr.'s names. So these two guys will be the first ones on the fresh Goodyear tires here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, starting from the going to be 5th and 6th place spot. So we'll avoid the overtime here. Going to have 7 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson steps on the gas here. We are back green here. Can we get a finisher here in the Nashville SuperSpeedway for the Honky Tonk 150? A big block there from John Michael Bryant. Corey Tesler gets tagged here. Corey Tesler goes on the racetrack. That tags Kyle Fountain to the outside wall here. Corey Tesler across the nose of Kyle Fountain. Caution flag fly. What in the absolute hell just happened here in the Madness Racing League on the Booty Scoot Racing channel? Blocks were being thrown down here in the turns 1 and 2. John Michael Bryant, we've seen him collect the left rear quarter panel of Corey Riptide Tesner. Corey Tesner from the top of the racetrack, though. Kyle Fountain hard on the outside wall. That one looked like it would hurt significantly there. We'll back this ass up here to the restart for the instant replay, and we will take a look here and see exactly what happened. We'll pull up the instant replay cam. Corey Riptide Tesner was involved. John Michael and Bryant involved, and so was Kyle Fountain. We'll watch it in full speed here. I'm going to give my opinion. We'll back that ass up here, and I'll try to break it down the best of my ability here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel out of the POV of what I think I just seen here. Not sure what the hell happened here on the restart. Great jump there from the number 51 of Showtime Chase Johnson. John Michael Bryant sees John Smith here down on the bottom side, trying to take the inside, throws the block on him. John Smith cuts him a break here, and John Michael Bryant trying on the bottom side, but here comes Corey Tesner just from the top of the racetrack here. Looks like he maybe cut his nose across John Michael Bryant. That shipped him collect Kyle Fountain, and Kyle Fountain was the one hard on the outside wall. Corey Tesner comes back up the racetrack in front of the 59. And the caution flag flies right then and there. We'll back that ass up one more time here. Watch it in full speed here. And see if we can't ride out the front bumper of John Michael Bryant or somebody to get a better looking angle to see what the hell just happened here. Now we are definitely starting to head to overtime here. We'll back that ass up. So look out the back bumper of John Michael Bryant first here. We see John Smith trying to make the move. John Michael Bryant throws the block down, cuts it. Corey Tesner coming down the racetrack here in front of the boogeyman, John Michael Bryant. It looks like he maybe just not have been cleared there. And Corey Tesner turns himself across the front nose here. That'll tag Kyle Fountain into the outside wall because of Corey Riptide Tesner, and it was just mayhem from there. You see Corey Tesner go around here on the back straightaway. Big contact there for the number 59 and the number 5 of Corey Riptide Tesner in here, and we are definitely going to overtime now. Everybody was able to escape through that, it looks like, besides the number 59 and the number 5, of Corey Tesner. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, getting ready to head to overtime here at the Nashville SuperSpeedway as they head across the line. Showtime Chase Johnson's going to be the race leader here. Chris Knighty will be scheduled, the lucky dog. Bark, 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 bark for Chris Knighty. If he comes around, he'll get another lap back here. He'll be 2 laps down here. So these guys, we can pile it up one more time. Maybe Chris Knighty might have a chance at it here. Chris Knighty back down 2 more laps. So we gladly appreciate you guys tuning in here tonight to the Honky Tonk 150 live here in Lebanon, Tennessee at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. It's been one hell of a show up to this point. Kind of walk you through how things are getting ready to shake down here for the overtime. Chase Johnson from Greer, South Carolina, the iRacing champion for Season 1 for the Madness Racing League, will be the race leader here. Your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant, will be on the outside here driving that number 23 Toyota Camry. Please, we ask you guys to not throw any beer, pasties, bras, panties onto the racetrack at the conclusion of tonight's event. Jonathan Smith, the topic of the night from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He'll make the trip over from North Carolina here to Tennessee tonight. Not bad of a trip for the number 13 of Jonathan Smith. Go check him out at AppDaddyRacing.com for all your iRacing paint ski, liveries, and needs. He has a chance to lock himself into the Next Gen Cup Series right here. He'll start 3rd place for the overtime. Terry Hughes Jr. from Troy, Alabama, driving this Ford Mustang Red Bull number 81 for his own team, the driver owner. Up here in the top 5, he will have a shot at it here tonight in the overtime. Travo, booting and scooting, shaking and rattling and rolling, you name it. UFC Modelo number 7 Ford Mustang, ready to fire off here for the overtime. Kyle Fountain in the number 59 will start on the inside here of Nicholas Maynard and Blake Koschchild, who's moved his way up here to the top 5, the top 6 spot here. And his number 12 Toyota Camry. That's how the top 6 will ride out here, ladies and gentlemen. Head of the overtime here, ladies and gentlemen. If these guys are able to get back to the white flag before the caution flag comes out, the race will be over. All hands are off. But if these guys wreck these race cars before they get to the white flag, the caution flag will come out, and that will be the end of the race. I was told here tonight by the admin that we are having 2 overtime attempts, and we have just missed the first overtime one here. So this will be the final attempt here in overtime. So these guys need to hold it, get it together. Showtime Chase Johnson's going to bring it through the restart zone for the final time here tonight in Nashville. 2 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson slaps on the gas. Caution flag flies back here. Chase Johnson. Kyle Fountain spins around here on the infield. Blake Koschchild around on the infield. Caution flag is flown, though. So if we look up here on the ticker, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it here for the overtime. As the iRacing platform is called the caution here for Blake Koschchild. We'll back that ass up here and take a look at what the hell just happened between him and Kyle Fountain. Is already off of the racetrack. We'll back it up here. Kyle Fountain, we'll take a look and see exactly what happened to the number 59. It's Blake Koschchild just got left hooked across the front of the field here. Coming to the overtime restart. Let's take a look. They were coming through the Geico restart zone. Kyle Fountain just hits the gas here. Left hooks the number 12. Blake Koschchild sent them around. Big time there for the number 12 here. The caution flag flew immediately from Freddie to Flagman here, and the caution flag was out just like that. Blake Koschchild able to come back around here, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is the first time we have ever seen this on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The race will end underneath the caution flag. And you have to give the win on the number 51 of Showtime Chase Johnson. And Jonathan Smith, heartbroken here tonight at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. Won't even have a chance on the fresh Goodyear tires. Had a shot at the back bumper of Chase Johnson here. Across the front stretch here. Pow, pow. John Michael Bryant will get the 3rd place spot, followed by Terry Hughes Jr. Travel Wall will round out the top 5, giving to Nicholas Maynard for the 6th place spot. Corey Tesner will take the 7th place spot. Blake Koschchild will take the 8th place spot here. Kyle Fountain will round out the 9th place spot, but he's already off the racetrack, followed by Chris Knighty and Bobby Kyle. Holden Wheeler off the racetrack as well, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it. Peter the pace car back out on the racetrack here to bring these guys on home here. You see it on the top left of your screen. The checker flag is in the air for the number 51 of Showtime Chase Johnson. He'll be the one bringing it down here across the line for the victory here for back-to-back wins here in the Cup Series. Caution flag here, the last attempt at the overtime. 2 attempts at it here, as I was told at the admin. Both times they had a caution flag to bring it out here. So ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard and the rest of these guys here won't even have a chance to go at it here with Chase Johnson. And Chase Johnson ahead around the front stretch here. A broken-hearted John Smith down on pit road. So we can't get a word with the number 13. Showtime Chase Johnson he'll say it on the radio. You got to take him how you can get him here. He'll survive the overtime here. He didn't lead that many, let out about 25, 32 laps here. I'm hearing from the admin for the number 51 of Showtime Chase Johnson. As everybody else will come bring it down on the pit road here, ladies and gentlemen. Showtime Chase Johnson will win it underneath the caution flag here in overtime at the Nashville SuperSpeedway. He'll bring it across the front stretch here for you fans. The number 51 STI Johnson Chevy Camaro of Showtime Chase Johnson. Bring it back across the front of the line. Here's Freddie the flagman, who continues to tell him here to go ahead and park it. Take that helmet off, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a quick commercial break here. Be back in just a moment for the drivers' interviews. Hear from your favorite driver, as we can't get a word from Showtime Chase Johnson and an upset Jonathan Smith and a pissed off John Michael Bryant. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Back here on the BDSQ Racing channel for the conclusion of the Honky Tonk 150 live here from the Nashville SuperSpeedway, where Showtime Chase Johnson has just picked up the victory here tonight. He'll go back-to-back for the Next Gen Cup Series for the Madness Racing League. We got a pit reporter down there on the pit road, on the victory lane with Showtime Chase Johnson. Let's see what he had to say.
Down here in Victory Lane for the Honky Tonk 150, where we're at the number 51 of Chase Johnson. Chase, kind of walked us through your race here tonight. You had to battle your way there through the field. A tough battle there at the end with the 13 of Jonathan Smith. We'll head into 2 overtimes, and you're able to survive with the win here at Nashville.
Yeah, it was a great race, turned into complete chaos there. You know, on the first attempt at it, you know, we had a set of tires, and we seen everybody go in, seen the 13 go in, so we just decided to stay out, and maybe it was going to go green there, and maybe we could catch them on strategy, but it just went to chaos. And, you know, coming to the second green, white checker, green flag, I was completely content, you know, finishing second to Jonathan, because he was starting right behind me, and I knew he was way faster than me on fresher tires, so I was completely ready to finish second, but I have no idea what happened. Anyways, regardless, it was another fast car. We unloaded fast. I think we qualified not good. I think that's more just driver error. I don't really like this track, but it was another fast car. I want to thank all the guys for bringing another one. Thanks for all the sponsors. Both my teammates got caught up into some messes, but it is what it is. It's racing, and appreciate you guys in the booth. Put on a great show every week. We enjoy it, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
That's the number 51 winner here. The Honky Tonk 150 will scoot down to the number 13 machine of Jonathan Smith. Jonathan, kind of walk us through your night. You take the lead there with about 13 laps left to go. It looked really good for you. He was trying to save those Goodyear tires, but over time will strike you here. You have to round up in the second place spot. Didn't even get a chance.
Yeah, just to be honest, that sucked. Had a strategy the whole time to come in and save tires, and that's kind of what we did, and ended up wearing down the leaders, get to the front, leading some laps, and then a caution comes out from, I don't know why, but caution came out, and then restart, caution came out, the green-white checker, able to get around some of that traffic there, and didn't even get a shot at the second green-white checker, but I'm not trying to take anything away from Chase. I mean, he had a good strategy. I knew if I pitted, he was going to stay out. If I stayed out, they'd probably pit, so nothing I could do there, try to get to the front, but good win to Chase. Shout out to 811 Racing, Engine Ford Coffee Company, and hopefully we can actually get a win. Hopefully we can actually race to a win.
Jonathan Smith continues to be bad fast here. Go check him out at NapDaddyRacing.com. We'll scoot down here to the third place finish here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your mom's favorite driver, driving the number 23 machine. John, kind of walk us through your night here. You'll start seventh on the grid here, round out a P3 here. He was on the front row to start the overtime, so just lose one more spot here. Kind of walk us through it.
It started off, the car didn't handle worth nothing. Just kind of adjusted here and there, and, as the race went on, some rubber got put on the track. It started to hook up a little bit. There at the end, just had a decision to make. So we chose to stay out to track position. And, made some bold blocks there on the green-white checkered, just to try to keep the spots. We came away on the lucky end of it, didn't lose the car. Drove down into one. I don't know if his spotter was up there eating a sandwich or what, but, that Kesner kid come down on me. We'll have a conversation about it, make up. Other than that, only got one thing to say. Shout out to the guy, Bubba Wallace, for the Brickyard 400. And tell that mom up there to put her shirt down. She's distracting me during my interview.
That's the 23 machine of John Michael Bryant fired up here tonight. We'll scoot down to the number 81 Red Bull Ford Mustang of Terry Hughes Jr. Terry, kind of walk us through your night here tonight. You won't post a qualifying lap, but you'll start in the 12th place spot and finish in the top 5 in the 4th place spot. You will take home the 15 points for the hard charger. Kind of walk us through your night, as you did not want to see that caution there with about 8 laps to go.
We had posed a qualifying lap due to some starter issues. Thank God we got that fixed before the race. If not, we was going to be sitting in the hallway. We just want to hang back a little bit, save some tires. Not the greatest at this track. Started moving through the field. A couple cautions came out. We had an issue there and thought it was going to kill us when we came back up the track. But we ended up being fine, came back out here. Tried to stay on the same pitch strategy as our teammate up there in the 13. And if we wouldn't have had that last caution right there on that restart, definitely expected us to be 1-2 here, with either one of us taking the win.
And that's the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. bringing home the P4 spot here tonight. We'll scoot down to the final interview here on pit road. Driver of the number 7 UFC Modelo Ford Mustang of Travo Wall. Travo, kind of walk us through your night. You start in the 5th place spot, you end in the 5th place spot. Just silent all day long and a big haymaker, no pun intended, to your season on points. No comment from Tribal Wall.
Hey. Yeah, sorry I didn't have my button pressed. Dude, a lot of fun tonight. Starting 5th is unusual for me, and finishing 5th is unusual for me. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come, baby. Rock and roll racing. Remember the name. So, yeah, hey, we're just out here to have fun. We know we're not really probably going to win most times, but we're just looking to make this team more competitive and start putting some fear in some of these guys' hearts. Rock and roll, baby.
That's Travo Wall intimidating the field here tonight with his top 5 finish, driving the number 7 back up to the booth.
Back up here to the booth, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. As I can really start to say that Travo Wall was feeling himself down there for damn sure. What a great run for the number 7 of Travo Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll cut the music down here just a little bit much. I don't want to blow any eardrums out. We'll go over the night's final result here from the Honky Tonk 150 from the Nashville SuperSpeedway. It saw Chase Johnson, pick up the win here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jonathan Smith, a heartbreaker there at the end. 4 fresh tires up front for the 81XI, number 13. Nap Daddy Racing Chevy Camaro, and he didn't even get a chance to grab third gear to the back bumper of Chase Johnson. John Michael Bryant will scrape through here in his Toyota Camry on pit strategy. He'll stay out there for the track position, and he'll finish in the third place spot. Terry Hughes Jr., driver, owner of 81XI Racing from Troy, Alabama, had 2 of his race cars up there with a chance at victory lane and not a chance to pull it off here in the overtime. He'll round out the 4th place spot in his 81XI Racing number 81 Ford Mustang. Travo Wall will get his first top 5 on the Cup Series Season 2 this weekend at the Nashville SuperSpeedway, driving his rock and roll racing number 7 Ford Mustang to the top 5 spot. Nicholas Maynard driving the number 02 Maynard Motors Team Penske 02 will get the 6th place spot here tonight. Corey Tesner driving that number 5 Flow Racing Chevy Camaro will come across the front nose of John Michael Bryant. In that first overtime, is what the admin had said there. That was the first overtime attempt. John Michael Bryant and Corey Tesner. Corey Tesner clears himself in up there. Hit Kyle Fountain. Threw Kyle Fountain to the outside wall there. Big damage to the number 59, Blake Koschchild. Had a great run going for him tonight. Never left the top 5 for the majority of the first part of tonight's race. First 80 or so laps. Blake Koschchild was maybe the man here to beat tonight. He had a fast Toyota Camry. Big Country Kyle Fountain there will left hook Blake Koschchild there at the end on the final overtime restart. Not sure if it was intentional or not here. The admin will definitely have to look over that and take a look here. Some possible punishments coming out here recently. But Kyle Fountain there, top 10 here tonight with a 9-plate spot. Chris Knighty from B-Town, Indiana. The NVIDIA Ford Mustang drove his ass up there to that top 5 spot earlier tonight. But track position just falls out of his way. He'll get the 10th place spot here tonight. Bobby Kyle gets the unfortunate end of Nicholas Maynard there early in tonight's race, about 12 laps in. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will get into the back bumper of Bobby Kyle, will place Nicholas Maynard on the aggressive driving list. Bobby Kyle able to fumble his way back here, gets a couple of barks around the racetrack with a couple of lucky dogs. He'll finish 7 laps down. Holden Wheeler, the pole sitter here tonight, the number 15 Ford Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina, will finish 9 laps down there after big contact. James Fountain will spin out from the race lead, head on into the outside wall. And we're still here. We're still waiting to hear the injuries coming from the number 24 driver after he took a hellacious shot to that outside wall. Tony Cook will bend a left front tie rod inside of that Silver Bullet Coors Light number 33 Camaro at the end of the night early, about 23 laps into the night's event. And he'll retire the number 33, 78 laps down in the 14th place spot. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League Cup Series Season 2, race number 3 from the Nashville SuperSpeedway. This has been the Honky Tonk 150 live here from the Nashville SuperSpeedway. We'll see you tomorrow night at the Old Atlanta for the Total Nonstop Action Truck Series. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Let's go back to entries where sun kids across the lane. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a ride. right now.